Hello, everybody. I am Anuradha Sharda, and today I would like to talk to you on a topic called retrograde planets. For many a years, retrograde planets have been deemed as not so good. They are not so bad either. They show us an immense amount of potential and a different light altogether, but these are subject to certain expressions. The way they manifest themselves are subject to certain conditions. First, in this topic, today's topic, we take up a study by John McCormick. He, in his book, The Retrograde Planets, has worked intensively on data collected and the number of planets which are retrograde in a person's chart. The number of planets retrograde in a person's chart defines some qualities in his character. For instance, he says that a person who has no retrograde planet puts in a lot of physical effort for work to manifest for him. A person who has one retrograde planet likes to do his work all by himself. He likes to work on his own and achieve things alone. A person who has two retrograde planets likes to look to others, or rather looks upon others to bestow their well wishes, grace, praise, appreciation to that person so that he can do better. So the person is kind of dependent on others' goodwill as well as others' appreciation in life to move ahead. People who have three retrograde planets in their charts are determined to excel in the fields that they choose for themselves. They want to get work done under their own steam and grit. A very glaring example, a worldwide known example in such a case would be that of Lady Diana. She has three retrograde planets in her chart. Those tributes that she showed as a princess were something unheard of in those days. She had moved into a territory as a to make mark of herself as a people's princess, and even decades, nearly 3 decades after her death, she still stands tall on the pedestal that people put her because of the effort and love that she gave to people. She worked in areas in charities which was unheard of in those days for people of royal families to work in. So, moving ahead, we see that people who have four retrograde planets in their charts like to work behind the scenes. They like to they're shy away from the limelight and are seeking expression in the private. They like to do things where they do not come into prominence. People who have five retrograde planets in their charts are very solitary in nature. They like to keep away from all limelight, not just limelight, they like their own company and are happy being themselves. Retrograde planets do have a nature which is different from the direct. If the direct can be called an extrovert, the indirect, or rather the retrograde planet, can be always called as an introvert. The energy of a retrograde planet manifests in many ways which are very different, yet running along a similar pattern as that of the direct planet. For example, Mercury, being the lord of the third house of the natural zodiac and also being the karaka of communication, is a representation of a speech. This Mercury, if retrograde, does not shy away from speaking. However, this person puts in a lot of effort to see what they are speaking and how the speech is intercepted. Mercury is also a karaka of business, and it is also the karaka of money. So, a good Mercury definitely bestows a very strong sense of business in a person. At the same time, a retrograde Mercury would bestow a strong sense of business too, but some business sense which is out of box approach. Mercury is also about writing, and the retrograde Mercury is, if it is well placed, then this retrograde Mercury gives a person a very strong insight into psyche, giving the person a different dimension in his or her writings. Mars is a warrior, is a steady warrior, always on the go, because Mars represents the energy. It is a manifestation of the first house that Mars owns, the Aries. So the energy is tremendous in this planet. In fact, it is the life's force. The retrograde Mars is not devoid of any energy. However, this energy is on a check. It is not always on the go like the direct Mars. This energy has the ability to take a step back and to check how and where it is flowing. This energy also has the ability to administer. It is the general in the real sense because it has the ability to administer, focus, and conserve things in a pattern that they are very streamlined. Mars is also a separative planet, and the houses where Mars sits, the house where Mars sits, if it is badly afflicted, it can show a very strong separation, and it can be very volatile too because Mars is volatile in nature. But if it is so in case of a retrograde planet, it is much less volatile, it is much sedate, and separation is much more easier. It is much without any ado. So we can know more about retrograde planets. If you like this session, do keep subscribing to us and we'll get you more and more. Thank you so much.